This is a Ramana Maharshi clip, a talk by Ramana Maharshi with comments by Richard Clarke. This is a time to listen, reflect, and deeply meditate. I'm Richard. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the books Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is talk number 39. Conversing with our Seshagiri Rao, a visitor, Maharshi remarked that a self-realized sage, Atma Jnani, alone can be a good karma yogi. After the sense of doership has gone, let us see what happens. Sri Sankara advised inaction. But did he not write commentary and take part in disputation? Do not trouble about doing action or otherwise. Know thyself. Then let us see whose action it is. Whose is it? Let action complete itself. So long as there is the doer, he must reap the fruits of his action. If he does not think himself the doer, there is no action for him. He is an ascetic who has renounced worldly life, sannyasin. The questioner asks, how did the ego arise? Maharshi responded, it is not necessary to know it. Know the present. Not knowing that, why do you worry about other times? Maharshi said in reply to a question, is the world within you or without you? Does it exist apart from you? Does the world come and tell you, I exist? In this dialogue, Maharshi is discussing the concept of karma yoga and the nature of the self with his visitor, R. Seshagiri Rao. Maharshi begins by saying that a self-realized sage, an Atma Jnani, is the only one who can truly be a good karma yogi. He talks about transcending the sense of doership. Once this sense of being the doer is eliminated, Ramana says, then we should see what it's like for ourselves. Maharshi refers to Sri Sankara, who recommended inaction. However, he points out that even Sankara, despite advocating inaction, wrote commentaries and engaged in disputes. This apparent paradox can be resolved by understanding that actions performed by a realized individual are devoid of ego and doership. They are simply spontaneous expressions of the self. Maharshi advises not to be concerned about whether or not you should engage in action. Instead, he urges you to know thyself. When you truly know yourself, the distinction between the doer and the action goes away. The ego dissolves, and it is then that you can witness the actions happening by themselves. As long as the sense of doership persists, you will inevitably bear the consequences of your action. Maharshi defines a true ascetic or sannyasin as one who has renounced worldly life, not necessarily by physical renunciation, but by transcending the ego and the attachment to actions. This dialogue continues with the question of how the ego arises. Maharshi's response is profound. He suggests that it's not necessary to investigate the origins of the ego. What is crucial is to know the present moment. Obsessing over the past or the genesis of the ego is irrelevant. Maharshi's teachings emphasize the importance of self-inquiry into the immediate and direct experience of your nature. The final question Maharshi poses is equally profound. He asks whether the world exists within or outside of you. Does the world declare its existence independently, or does it depend on your perception? This question prompts deep contemplation on the nature of reality and your relationship with it. In this dialogue, Ramana Maharshi highlights the importance of self-realization, the dissolution of the ego, and the spontaneous nature of actions for those who have transcended the sense of doership. His guidance encourages you to focus on the present rather than dwelling on the past, and to question the nature of the world and the self, yourself, the only self that there is. So inquire, know yourself, and be always free and at peace. These videos help bring Ramana Maharshi's teachings into your direct experience. Subscribe now